Hi everyone, welcome back to Exploring with Courtney. In today's video, I'm sharing 10 incredible activities that you cannot miss the next time you visit the beautiful country of Morocco. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Up first, you have to ride a camel in the Sahara Desert. I'm not gonna lie, riding a camel in the desert is about 90% of the reason why I wanted to go to Morocco this year. I even had a picture of this on my vision board because it's just such an epic travel experience. A popular place to ride camels is in Merzouga, which is a small desert village that's really close to the border with Algeria. Since I went to Morocco with a tour group organized by G Adventures, the transportation from the city where we were staying to Merzouga was fully handled by the company. But if you are staying in Fez, Casablanca, Marrakesh, or any of the other big cities in Morocco, just keep in mind that you're gonna have to figure out how to get to Merzouga, which is a couple of hours away from any of those big cities. But if you are able to get out there, I highly recommend it. It was an incredible place to visit. And while you're out on those stunning orange sand dunes, you might as well also try your hand at sandboarding. This was my first time ever doing it, and I took the easy way out by just sitting on my board instead of standing on it, but it was still a lot of fun. And another great activity you can do out there is stargazing if you're gonna spend the night. Highly recommend. The stars were absolutely beautiful, and it was just such a peaceful way to enjoy the night. Activity number 2, spend time with a nomadic family. So spending time with a nomad family is another amazing experience that you can have in the desert. Nomads are groups of people that travel from place to place seasonally throughout the year, taking care of their livestock and pretty much living self-sufficiently. So we got to visit a nomad family living in one of their camps in the middle of the desert. And again, this entire experience was organized by G Adventures, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go with a group, because there was no way I was ever even gonna think of an activity like this. But basically we got to go visit a family in their camp and play with their children, ask them all types of questions about their lifestyle. They were super warm and friendly and welcomed us with tea and cookies. It was a seriously unforgettable experience and possibly the highlight of my entire trip. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a big thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more exploration inspiration. Speaking of unforgettable experiences, another one that you can have is taking a hot air balloon ride. This was my first time ever in a hot air balloon, and I was nervous but super excited, really didn't know what to expect. We did this activity about an hour outside of Marrakesh, just in the middle of a ton of flat land for obvious reasons. We also had to wake up super early to get there before the sunrise so that we could watch the sunrise behind the mountains while we were in the air, floating above the entire city. So it was a really great experience. The pilot was really friendly and answered all of my questions. And we were actually in a balloon called the Juliet, which is the biggest hot air balloon in the entire country. Activity number 4, get lost in the medina of whatever city you're visiting. The medina is the old part of the city that's typically walled and has a ton of narrow streets. The medina is also typically a great shopping area because there are a ton of stores, markets, or souks, and street vendors. But fair warning, medinas are also often overwhelming with all the foot traffic, carts, donkeys, motorcycles, and bikes whizzing past you in every direction. You're definitely gonna wanna keep your wits about you so you don't injure yourself walking along the cobblestone streets, so you don't get hit by any bikes or motorcycles, and so you don't become a victim of pickpocketing. While Marrakesh's Medina is widely known, the Medina of Fez is actually the oldest Medina in the entire country. It dates all the way back to the 9th century, which is 800 AD. Number 5, a really cool site to visit is the city of Ouarzazate. Please forgive my pronunciation. Though you may not have heard of this place before, you've probably seen it on the big screen. Movies like Gladiator, The Hills Have Eyes, Game of Thrones, and The Outer Banks all have scenes that were filmed in Ouarzazate. So if you're a big movie buff, consider touring the Atlas Film Studio while you're visiting. Ouarzazate is also famously the home of Ait Benedou, which is a very famous historical UNESCO World Heritage Site. Originally established in the 11th century, the village today consists of several buildings that date all the way back to the 17th century. These buildings were constructed with clay, adobe, and wood, and walking around this village honestly made me feel like I was back in the Bible times. It was really cool to be transported to an entirely different time and place. These next couple of activities are all located in Marrakesh. Number 6, visit the Bahia Palace, which was built in the late 1800s. The palace's layout is kind of like a maze with several small rooms, large courtyards, and narrow passageways. And the design and decorations are quintessential Moroccan with Arabic inscriptions, geometric patterns, striking blue, green, and brown tiles, and that iconic sculpted stucco on the walls and ceilings. Exploring the palace only takes about an hour or two, and going during off-peak hours is highly recommended due to the large crowds. Activity number 7, visit the Ben Yosef Madrasa, which is conveniently located right in the Medina. The Ben Yosef Madrasa is actually a historic Islamic college that operated hundreds of years ago and is today open to visitors as a historical site. Its architecture is stunning and it's in great condition, making it a prime location for Instagram photos. I loved walking through all the different dorm rooms where the students used to live, and honestly, I enjoyed visiting the Ben Yosef Madrasa more than I enjoyed visiting the Bahia Palace. So if you only have time to visit one of those two places, I would suggest the college, but that's just my personal take. The last place on this list in Marrakesh is the Majorelle Garden, which is a famous garden that is known for all of its striking blue features. It's also owned by Yves Saint Laurent and is right next to the Yves Saint Laurent Museum, which has a small exhibit honoring the history of the fashion house. Speaking of the color blue, if you're on Instagram, you've probably seen pictures of people posing in those beautiful blue streets of Morocco. Those eye-catching streets are actually located in Chefchaouen, which is a town in the northern part of Morocco. This is a really cool place to visit for obvious reasons, but if you're wondering why the streets are painted blue, you might not get a clear answer. Some people say it's to represent Judaism because this used to be a prominent Jewish community. Others will tell you that the blue is meant to repel mosquitoes, and still others will tell you the city was painted just to attract tourists. And lastly, activity number 10, visit the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca. While there are countless mosques throughout the entire country, this mosque is unique because it's the only mosque that's open to non-Muslims. I unfortunately didn't spend any time in Casablanca, so I was unable to visit this mosque, but I really wish that I had the time because I've seen pictures and it's absolutely stunning. And since I enjoyed learning so much about Islam during my trip to Morocco, I really feel like visiting the mosque would have been an incredible experience. So there you have it, 10 incredible things that you can do on your next trip to Morocco. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below letting me know which activity sounds the most fun to you. If you have any questions, also feel free to put those in the comments or shoot me an email. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more exploration, inspiration, and travel tips. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!